Hi, friends. Here I am back again with some more fun stories. Can you say hello? Hello, 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 and how are you? I'm fine, I'm fine. I hope that you are too. Today we're going to visit two of my favorite book characters, Frog and Toad by Arnold Lobel. There's several different Frog and Toad books that you can see lots of friends in. Frog and Toad are friends. Frog and Toad together. Frog and Toad all year. And Days with Frog and Toad. Frog and Toad are friends by Arnold Lobel. A lost button. Toad and Frog went for a long walk. They walked across a large meadow. They walked in the woods. They walked along the river. At last they went back home to Toad's house.
"Oh, drat," said Toad. "Not only do my feet hurt, but I have lost one of the buttons on my jacket."
"Don't worry," said Frog. "We'll go back to all the places where we walked. We will soon find your button." They walked back to the large meadow. They began to look for the button in the tall grass. "Here is your button," cried Frog.
"That is not my button," said Toad. "That button is black. My button was white."
Toad put the black button in his pocket. A sparrow flew down. "Excuse me," said the sparrow. "Did you lose a button?" "I found one."
"That is not my button," said Toad. "That button has 2 holes. My button had 4 holes."
Toad put the button with 2 holes in his pocket. They went back to the woods and looked on the dark paths. "Here is your button," cried Toad.
"That is not my button," cried Toad. "That button is small. My button was big."
Toad put the small button in his pocket. A raccoon came out from behind a tree.
"I heard that you were looking for a button," he said. "Here is one I just found." "That is not my button," wailed Toad. "That button is square. My button was round."
Toad put the square button in his pocket. Frog and Toad went back to the river. They looked for the button in the mud. "Here is your button," said Frog.
"That is not my button," shouted Toad. "That button is thick. My button was thin."
Toad put the thick button in his pocket.
Now he was very angry. He jumped up and down and he screamed, "The whole world is covered with buttons, and not one of them is mine."
Toad ran home and he slammed the door. And there, on the floor, he saw his white, 4-holed, big, round, thin button.
"Oh," said Toad, "it was here all the time. What a lot of trouble I have made for Frog." Toad took all of the buttons out of his pocket. He took his sewing box down from the shelf, and he sewed all the buttons all over his jacket. The next day, Toad gave his jacket to Frog. Frog thought it was beautiful. He put it on and he jumped for joy. None of the buttons fell off. Toad had sewed them on very well. Wasn't that fun? Oh, here's our magic screen today. I wonder what our question is. What part of its body does a frog use to catch food? Do you have a guess? Magic screen, do you have an answer for us? Did you guess the tongue? Some frogs' tongues are super long and super sticky, stickier even than a piece of gum. They can catch flies right out of midair. Frog and Toad are very different friends. Frog is kind of grumpy. No, Frog is kind of joyful. Toad is kind of grumpy. And Frog is kind of, well, we'll make it better. What other differences might there be between a frog and a toad? How do you know? A photo book by Melissa Stewart. Do you know which of these animals is a frog? Which one is a toad? Did you guess frog? Toad? A frog has wet, slimy skin like this marsh frog. It needs to live close to water. A toad has drier, bumpy skin like this European toad. The skin keeps water inside the toad's body. That is why toads can live farther from water than frogs. A frog has long, strong back legs. They are perfect for jumping and swimming. A toad has short back legs. Toads walk or take small hops. A frog has a long, thin body. This shape helps a frog make long leaps to get away from predators. A toad has a fat, round body. Its skin smells and tastes bad, so predators leave it alone. A frog has teeth on its upper jaw. There are no teeth on a frog's lower jaw. Frogs use their teeth to grab and hold their prey. A toad does not have teeth. It must swallow its prey quickly. A male frog sings loudly on warm spring nights. A female frog follows the sound to find the male, and then the frogs mate. A male toad sings quietly for just a few minutes. Then he stops for a while. But a female toad can still find him. A female frog lays eggs in clumps. A thick, slippery coating keeps them moist until they hatch. A female toad lays eggs in long chains. After a few days, the eggs hatch and tiny tadpoles swim out. Now you know, is it a frog or is it a toad? Do you know a song about frogs? Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green and speckled frogs. 5 green and speckled frogs sat on a speckled log, eating some most delicious bugs. Yum, yum. One jumped
into the pool, splash, where it was nice and cool. Then there were 4 green speckled frogs. Grumph, 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 grumph. 4 green and speckled frogs sat on a speckled log, eating some most delicious bugs. Yum, yum. One jumped into the pool where it was nice and cool. Then there were 3 green speckled frogs. Grumph, grumph, grumph. 3 green and speckled frogs sat on a speckled log, eating some most delicious bugs. Yum, yum. One jumped into the pool where it was nice and cool. Then there were 2 green speckled frogs. Grumph, grumph. Can you hold up 2 fingers? 2 green and speckled frogs sat on a speckled log, eating some most delicious bugs. Yum, yum. One jumped into the pool where it was nice and cool. Then there was 1 green speckled frog. Grumph. Can you sing along? 1 green and speckled frog sat on a speckled log, eating some most delicious bugs. Yum, yum. One jumped into the pool where it was nice and cool. Then there were no green speckled frogs.
None. Nada. 0.
I thought that was fun. You can sing that anytime with just your fingers. Maybe you'd like to make a frog puppet. Grump, grump. All you need is a big piece of paper. This is an 8.5. It can be 8.5 by 11, any color, really any size. I'm going to ask an adult to help you fold it 1, 2 times in thirds, the long way, like a long hot dog, and then fold it in half again, the short way, like a hamburger. And then we're going to take the front flap and fold it back, turn it over, take the other flap and fold it back, and then we have 2 pockets here to put your fingers in. If you want, you can cut another piece of paper and make a tongue. You can draw a mouth inside. You can give him eyeballs. It's your frog, whatever you like. And you can tell someone else this story about the frog. Do you know what else would be fun? Ask around and see if anybody in your family has a collection of old buttons. And you can sort them by color, size, shape, 2 holes or 4 holes. That could be a fun activity too. Let's say goodbye. See you later, alligator. After a while, crocodile. Give a hug, ladybug. Blow a kiss, jellyfish. See you soon, you big raccoon. Out the door, dinosaur. Take care, polar bear. Wave goodbye, butterfly. Bye.